If you like our video, click the button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides, visit us at www.teachucomp.com. The Direct Selection tool in Photoshop lets you select and move individual anchor points or line segments of path components within the currently selected path in the Paths panel. You can also use the Direct Selection tool in Photoshop to select anchor points on the paths of shapes within layers in a document. However, note that moving the anchor points or line segments of a live shape in Photoshop will prompt Photoshop to convert the live shape into a regular path. To do this, if desired, click Yes in the prompt that then appears. Otherwise, click No in the prompt to leave it as a live shape. To use the Direct Selection tool in Photoshop, click the Direct Selection tool button in the Tools panel. This tool shares the same button as the Path Selection tool, and the button shows the icon of the tool last selected. So, if needed, click and hold down on this button in the Tools panel, and then select the Direct Selection tool choice from the side menu that appears to select it. Optionally, to show a drop-down menu of saved tool presets from which you can choose if you created any for the selected tool, click the Click to open the Tool Preset Picker button at the left end of the Options bar control panel and select a saved preset choice. To select within which layers to select shapes in Photoshop, if you click to select a shape in the document window using the Direct Selection tool, select either the Active Layers or All Layers choice from the Select dropdown in the Options bar control panel. Note that this option doesn't affect path selection. If you select a shape using the Direct Selection tool, then you can change the shape options within the Options bar control panel. These are the same as when drawing a shape using the Pen tool, as shown in the earlier lesson titled Using the Pen tool in Photoshop, so we won't cover them all again in this lesson for brevity's sake. The next few options in the Options bar control panel are the same options as when drawing shapes with the Curvature Pen tool, as shown in the earlier lesson titled Using the Curvature Pen tool in Photoshop, so we won't cover them all again in this lesson for brevity's sake. At the far right end of the Options bar control panel is the Constrain Path Dragging checkbox. If desired to enable Legacy Path Segment Dragging, check the Constrain Path Dragging checkbox. To select a shape using the Direct Selection tool in Photoshop, click to select the Shape layer in the Layers panel first to activate the layer if needed. Then click the shape to select in the document window. Its anchor points on its path then appear as white squares. To move a line segment of the shape, click and drag it. Alternatively, to select a specific anchor point, click it with the Direct Selection tool to turn the white square blue to show it is selected. When an anchor point is selected, you can edit its direction lines if it is a curved or corner anchor point, just as when using the Pen tool as usual. To move the anchor point, click and drag the anchor point to the desired location and then release it. As mentioned earlier in the lesson, if editing or moving the anchor point or line segments of a path for a live shape, this then prompts Photoshop to convert the shape into a path. To do this, click Yes in the prompt window. Alternatively, click No to leave it as a live shape. To change the fill and stroke settings of a selected shape, use the options that appear in the Options bar control panel. To change the path settings of a selected shape, use the Path Setting buttons in the Options bar control panel. To select path components within a path using the Direct Selection tool in Photoshop, first select the path within which to select the path component anchor points in the Paths panel. Then click to select the desired path components and show their anchor points. To move a line segment of the path component, click and drag it. Alternatively, to select a specific anchor point, click it with the Direct Selection tool to turn the white square blue to show it is selected. When an anchor point is selected, you can edit its direction lines if it is a curved or corner anchor point, just as when using the pen tool as usual. To move the anchor point, click and drag the anchor point to the desired location and then release it. To change the path settings of the selected path component, use the Path Settings buttons in the Options bar control panel. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. See our full suite of courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides at www.teachucomp.com.